What's up, guys? We got a little special one here for you today. We are at Tierra Park in Lincoln, Nebraska. This is actually the very first course that I've ever played at. Years and years ago, my grandma lived across the street, got my first ever disc. Used to walk over here and play these holes. Had no idea what I was doing, but this is where it all started. So we're back here for a little practice round. Take you guys along with. So we're going to be doing a little player 1 versus player 2 challenge again. This is just a short little 9-hole. I actually haven't been back here in a long time, but like I said, it's just a little nostalgic for me. This is where I first started. I had a Innova Era. That thing was probably 150 grams or less. Just could not fight the wind at all. It's pretty windy out here today, but some short holes, so maybe we can get lucky, bang an ace or two here. I've actually never aced on this course, even though I've played more holes here than any other course. There are some new pin positions. I mean, I see the very first hole 1. I've never seen the basket where it's at right now, so it might be a little interesting. We've got a crazy tailwind right now. I'm going to start with the proxy for player 1, throw the 6-time buzz for player 2. Hopefully this wind doesn't just push it immediately back down. We can get something here. Floated that thing bad. I don't know. The wind must be swirling because that acted like it was flying straight into a headwind. We got the buzz. Oh, that's real good. Go in. Go in. Whew. Still a little short. Like I said, I've never seen the basket in this pin position. So it's actually a little further than I anticipated. Looks like it's only like 180 feet, but it's got to be more like 250 because neither one of my discs are pin high. I'd love to hear what your guys' first course stories are like. When I first started, this was the only course in town, and it was a pretty shitty little course. It came a long ways, and now there's actually some great courses around here. But when I first started, I didn't know anybody that played disc golf. I'd never heard of anybody playing disc golf. I mean, obviously there was, but as far as locally, there really wasn't much around here. So this little 9-hole was my bread and butter. I played here for years. When I first moved out, actually, I was still in high school, and my first apartment was just right down the road. So I used to come here all the time and play. Proxy ended up being pretty terrible back here. Long putt, basically a layup. This elevated basket makes it a bit of a death putt. Perfect. And we've got the buzz up here. Birdie putt. We've got a crazy tailwind though. This tailwind is not making things easy, and this is a heck of a death putt. This is an interesting pin position though. I like it. I've never seen it here before. That hurts, guys. Looks like it's going to be pars for both players. Okay, hole 2 here. It's about 280 feet. We're going to throw a stag with player 1. It's always tucked back in those trees. It's actually really hard to get to. Hitting this gap is always tough. That's pretty money, guys. A little higher than I wanted, but it got through there. We're going to throw the buzz for player 2. Oh, it's so good. Oh, bad tree kick, but that was money. I was actually aiming right at the basket for a while. If anyone's watching that's never played disc golf before, just go out and do it. This is a public park. I mean, 99% of the people walking around here have no idea if they just saw a good or a bad throw. They don't know. Don't be worried about it. Just get out here and play. Out of any community that I've ever been a part of or been around, disc golf is the most accepting, friendly community that I've ever been around. All right, player 1's got a pretty good looking birdie here. I don't like straddle putting, but it's the only way I can get an open lane here. I would argue that I'm outside circle 1 and I could step, but we'll play it safe. Man, that wind just killed that. This tailwind is tough, guys. I really struggle putting with tailwinds. I always tell myself to aim at the band or higher, and because I know that disc is going to get pushed down, but I still, even if I feel like I'm aiming a mile in the air, I still end up always ending up short. This is a tricky one, guys. I got to go between these two trees. Another straddle putt. We're going to bang this one, though. Let's get a 2. Dude, I swear. So after those miserable putts, we're still at even with both players. The last time I did this challenge, player 1 dominated player 2. I really expected it to be a lot closer. And this is a really short par 3. It's very scoreable. I know it doesn't, we're even par through the first 2 holes, but there are some scoreable holes. We should definitely be well under par. We'll see who comes out on top. All right, guys, this is a hole I used to love when I first started. Straight ahead, little dog leg to the right. You can see the basket tucked way back in there. See if I can show it right back in there. But when I first started, all I could do was throw forehands. So every hole was a forehand, just on a huge hyzer. I sucked like that. And this hole actually plays to that. So I've always liked it for that reason. But actually, if you just throw a straight shot, straight back, there's a huge drop off in a creek. I mean, I'm talking like a 20-foot drop. Had to go swimming several times to get disc out of there. Some guy literally just asked me if I saw 2 dogs going anywhere. And there's 2 big-ass dogs right here that don't seem to like me. But I don't know where that guy went. And now I've got his dogs with me. I'd be very confident throwing both these shots, backhand fuse or forehand raptor. This is where I struggle with the player 1, player 2 challenge. I think player 1, I'm going to go with the forehand just because I feel a little bit more confident with it, even though lately I've been really loving how I've been throwing the fuse. So maybe today's player 2's chance to shine. If I throw this raptor and those dogs pick it up and chew it up, I'm going to be pissed. Dude, that tree is the bane of my existence. Player 2, backhand, I'm going to throw the fuse. Keep turning, baby. Yeah, that's definitely what player 1 should have done. It was a perfect shot. It was exactly what I wanted it to do. Damn tree should be so easy to miss, but it's just smack in the middle of the fairway. I swear. I hit it all the time. And anyone who's ever played here knows that this tree sucks. Got probably 100 feet or so. I'm just going to throw the proxy, try to get it through this little window. Heck! Leave it! These dogs are back. Right as I was about to throw. Leave it! They're trying to pick up my fuse. They're literally going towards the basket. If I throw this proxy, guarantee you they're going to eat it up. And this is a glow proxy from the OTB Open. Aced with it. And the funny story behind this disc is, shout out to you, Christy. I was playing a glow dubs round in Tennessee, and I had no glow discs with me. I didn't realize it was glow until it was too late, basically. But she let me borrow this. I threw it one time. Then the very next hole, I threw it again, aced it. 2 holes later, I hit another ace. That night was crazy. Shout out to you, Christy. I love this disc. I throw it all the time. I owe you one. All right, the dogs have subsided, so I don't know where they're at, but we're going to try to get this proxy up close for a par. Two for two on trees on this hole. Player 1 is still out after another tree hit. Got maybe a 50-foot putt here. Let's run it and see what we can do here. Oof. Not too bad, but it is a bogey. And that's a player 1 bogey. Player 2 with a long birdie look here. And the chance to take the lead. This is a really tricky spot, though. I almost want to forehand it, to be honest. Gosh. What do you guys do in this situation? You got a tree directly in front of you, 50 foot out. Is a forehand a dumb play here? We're going to try it. We don't ever do this. This is what this challenge is supposed to do, is to make me throw different shots. We're going to try to just throw a little floaty forehand at the basket. That was pretty terrible, to be honest. All right, so with this, player 2 is going to get a par, and player 1 is going to bogey. So we've got player 1 +1. Player 2 is even par. Hole 4 here looks like it's in the A position, which is 126 feet. It's just a tiny little dog leg right around here. You have to go around these trees. There's no, actually there is like a line. Holy crap, there is a line straight through these weeds and stuff here. Absolute pro line. There are several leaves in the way. Like, even if you hit it, I don't think you're gonna get that. But they're playing around with some elevated baskets that I've never seen here before. It's kind of interesting. Player 1 with the fuse, because I love this thing. Player 2, I kind of want to throw this deputy. It's super, super flippy, so it might be too much, especially with all this wind, but we'll see. I think I'm happy with that, but it might be a little long. So it looks like the fuse came in clutch again, and it is parked up there. Pretty easy birdie. We do have a really tough putt here, though, with player 2, because we ended up in that little hallway that I was talking about that you can use as an ace run, and it really shows that it's really not an ace run line because there's branches right in the way. So this is actually an extremely tough putt, and this wind is ridiculous right now. So with this player 1 over here, as long as I birdie this, that brings us back to even with both players. Birdie there, par there. These elevated baskets are definitely new. I'm not a very tall guy, so elevated baskets are kind of my nemesis. Not only do I suck at putting into them, but more importantly, half the time I struggle to even get my disc out. Hole 5, one of the longest holes on the course, so that's saying something with how short this course is. I believe it's in, looks to be either the C or the D position, so 360, 410, somewhere in there. You might be able to see the basket through those trees back there. I think we're going to go with Old Faithful for player 1, the old Wraith 12 time. That was absolutely horrendous. We're going to go with Raptor, player 2, just see if we can get a better shot here. Get around that. Oh my God. You gotta be fucking kidding me. I hit that tree and bounced 40 feet to the right. So in the spirit of playing this nostalgic course, and we're in a terrible position that out of all the years I've played here, I've never ended up over here. We're gonna do what I used to do back in the day and throw a driver on a hole that, or on a position we definitely shouldn't be throwing driver. We've got like, I don't know, 200 feet or less. And I'm going to throw this Raptor again just because I want to use the overstability to just punch it through this gap and then have it fade as hard as I possibly can. It's my only chance of getting a putt. That was perfect. Really perfect. Not a very good look here. I do have a little bit of a window, and it'd be perfect for the forehand little putter flick that I'm working on. So we might as well challenge ourselves to actually do it. And that is so much better than the last one. Still not what we want, but so much better. For years, I would only forehand high-speed discs, and it was more of just a crutch because I needed the stability. But as I've gotten better, not only have I improved, but more importantly, I've just forced myself to start throwing shots that I'm uncomfortable with. the more you do that, the more eventually they're going to become comfortable. If you only ever play to your strengths, you're never going to get much better. Your strengths only have so much margin for improvement. Your weaknesses have huge margins for improvement. So the more that you improve your weaknesses, the better you're going to end up being. So believe it or not, this is actually birdie putts because this is a par 4. So even though we played this terribly off the tee, we ended up really salvaging something here. See if we can drop a couple birds. Totally airmailed that. Player 3. And we hit the cage. And here's player 1's birdie. Oh, cash. That was so good. Beautiful putt. It's exactly what we want to see. So with that, player 1 is 1 under now, and player 2 is still even par. This course is very short, but it's very technical. Very wooded and technical. A lot of Nebraska courses are. We've got a lot of wooded courses. But as short as it is, it's a very challenging course just because the windows are so tight. The basket's straight ahead here, probably about 190 or so. If I'm guessing it's the B position, 191. An absolute laser beam of a shot. Player 1, we're going to go with the old trusty proxy. Pretty awful. Did not give that near enough height. Player 2, we're going to throw the zone. Oh, I'm going to make the excuse that the dogs are back. Player 1 with a really tricky birdie putt here. Oh, that is so good. That's exactly what we needed. So player 1's now 2 under. Player 2's got a tap in par up here. So we've got player 1 is 2 under par. Player 2 is even par. Player 1, I'm going to throw the zone here. Just a little dog leg to the left. And then player 2, I'm going to try the Zone OS. Like I said last video, still deciding if this is really worth having in the bag. Never going to know if I don't keep throwing it. This hole does have a creek behind it too. This whole course, there's a creek that just slithers its way through here, and they put a lot of baskets right up against that creek. Well, Zone OS is, as you may have guessed, extremely overstable. That's pretty solid. I'm still not finding much of a use for it. Doesn't matter how flat or how any you throw that Zone OS, it's going to just hyzer out so hard. Where it ended up is actually where a basket is a lot of the time, so it wouldn't be too bad, but it ended up to be more of a spike hyzer than I initially anticipated. So player 1 is parked, played that exactly how I wanted to. Player 2 has a difficult birdie putt, but a birdie putt nonetheless. Got to go around multiple trees here. I actually almost need to go up high just to give it time to hyzer back out. I actually thought that was going in. Ended up just a little short, but probably the best we could do. Player 1 with the little POV birdie here. And player 2's par. So with that, we've got player 1 is 3 under par. Player 2 is even par. This course really has no distance to it. It's a real pitch and putt kind of course. But it, like I said earlier, it is very technical. So it definitely does help you improve your game. It's a good course to practice on. It's a good course to try new shots and try new discs. I mean, too many people get caught up in the distance driver craze. Most of your game is going to be from 200 and in. Get good at that. Hole 8, it's in the D position. There's a bike path right over here. And you could almost throw a crazy Simon line out and around. I don't think it's really possible though. I'm going to throw something overstable backhand and just try to get back out there. Hope you guys can hear me with all this wind. Player one, we're going to throw the zone. Player two, we're going to throw the buzz. I don't really carry two overstable besides the Zone OS. I don't carry two overstable discs, so we're going to try to just put this on a little hyzer, see what we can do with it. I hope you guys could see that absolutely nasty tree kick I just got. Player two. Oh, that's so good. That's going to go a long ways, though. Oh, it hit a tree. Let me know what you guys think about this style of video. If you don't want to hear me talk through each shot and strategy and whatever, just let me know. I enjoy it, though. I like the strategy side of the game. It's like a chess match, you know. The way you play can greatly dictate your score. It's not all just about chucking discs as far as you can. I mean, anybody can throw a frisbee, but you got to throw it where you want it and on the lines you want, and just kind of pick apart the course. Having not played disc golf in like a week and having not played this course in God knows how long, we're not playing too hot, but this is player one. We are 3 under, so I'd like to keep that going. We really need to save our par here. Basket's straight ahead. Got a lot of wind though. I should be parked. Player two had a lot better drive, but we still don't have a putt. We're just going to try to float this up there and get us something close for an easy par. Just like that. It's crazy how long the disc just hangs in the air into a headwind. So those couple tap-ins for par brings player one. We've still got 3 under. Player two, we're still playing even par. I'd love to get a birdie on this last one. This is the other longer hole. It looks like it's in the C position, so we've got 468 here. All right, player one, I'm going to go with the old faithful Star Max forehand. This thing is great up against the wind. I can usually pump it out there pretty good. Do we go for the small gap, guys? Or do we go for the big safe gap? I really think we go for the small gap. Came out really wobbly. That's like maybe 250 feet. That was pretty atrocious. Backhand, we're going to try something completely different. We're going to throw this Hades. See if we can hyzer flip it and get it to turn over. Oh, that's crushed. All right, go for it. Come back. Come back. Thank you. Yeah, Jaden. Yep. Nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you.
Yeah,
Man.
you as
Good
well.
luck.
Yeah, throw them straight. Player one's birdie putt here. The band is in town. That sucks. Here's player two's chance to go under par today. We miss am side. We had it though. So a rather disappointing final score, but player one ended up 3 under. Player two ended up even par. On the 9th hole here, we ran into Mark. Got an Instagram for disc golf. He's trying to play around in every state. So we were both actually just in Missouri last week. Thanks for coming along to my nostalgia course here, guys, at Tierra. Like I said, this is where I learned how to play. This is where I first ever played. A lot of good times with my friends, just chucking frisbees around, you know. I'll definitely be playing some more here while we're in town. If any of you guys are around and want to play, hit me up.